Hi! Welcome back
to season 2
of our Mother-Daughter podcast.
Me,
myself,
and I.
So, we welcome you back warmly, and we are recording our first episode of season 2. So, first and foremost, we would like to welcome you and cheers. To this next season. Nice.
So, Mum, what are we talking about for our first episode of season 2 today?
So, for our first episode of season 2, we are talking about our own self-discovery and our journey of thinking about our identity over the last, couple of years and how that's evolved. And particularly in the last year. So, we're going to really focus on those things that, make us who we are today and what we've discovered about ourselves.
So, the first question is, describe yourself as a person a year ago.
So that's a very interesting question, Mai. I think that confidence stemmed to everything, like all aspects of my life, like my work life, my personal life, how I felt about myself, how I look, how I feel, how I behave. And my confidence in all of that was quite low, actually. And my belief in myself was quite low as well. And I think I was quite hung up about even like my body image. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was quite hung up about how I looked, how I was, or how others perceived me. I was really hung up. I really worried and thought a lot about, how others perceived me.
Yeah.
So rather than looking at myself from myself, I always looked at myself from other people.
Yeah.
Other people's lenses. Yeah. And I think my confidence and my belief in myself was really quite low, actually. If I was to describe myself as a person, I was probably a people pleaser. I spent a lot of my time giving to others and wanting to be liked by others and just wanting to fit in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I've always been an odd bod and I haven't really fitted in to like the world. And I think up until about a year ago, I still wanted to be someone that just, fitted in with everything and everybody else. And I think, my mindset and my mind and my mental health was probably not that great.
Yeah.
If I'm honest. And physically, I don't think I was as strong as I am today, probably. And I think I really probably didn't like myself a lot. If I was to describe myself a year ago, I probably didn't actually like myself a lot. And yeah, I would say that it's totally different version of who I am today. So Mahi, how would you describe yourself as a person a year ago?
I would describe myself as a person a year ago quite unexperienced because the things that impact my life on a day-to-day basis, for example, the podcast, have happened in the space of this year. Mm-hmm. I've also felt quite unconfident because of the way I looked. In the space of a year, I feel like my maturity has grown.
So do you think you were less mature a year ago?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Is there anything else that you want to say about you as a person from a year ago?
I feel like I was also a bit less emotional because as I've gotten older and there's been things happening to change my body, I've been quite emotional about different stuff. And I literally, in that year ago, I would have looked at myself, side-eyeing myself and be like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you crying over that stupid little thing? What?
It's quite interesting you say that because I feel like I was probably more emotional a year ago.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like I was probably kind of heightened emotions to everything a year ago, whereas as time's gone on, I don't feel like I'm like you now, side-eyeing myself, like thinking, why the hell did you get? That's quite interesting, isn't it? Like how we both describe ourselves from a year ago and how we see that time, isn't it? So on that note, Mahi, should we go to our second question?
Yes.
And I think it's my turn to ask the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the second question, Mahi, really is, what has changed?
I think the number one thing that has changed for me is my confidence because a year ago, like I said before, I had lacked confidence. But I feel so much more confident in myself now. And like Mum said before, I actually believe in myself compared to a year ago. I did not. I feel more mature because of the way that I've evolved in this year, and I feel more experienced because all of the lovely things that I've got to experience with my family this year, for example, the podcast. Also, in the space of a year, the way that I act at school has changed as well, because before I used to get involved in other people's businesses thinking that I was helping. But in fact, why did I say helping like that? But in fact, I was just making me get in trouble for things that I wasn't even involved with. So I've stopped getting involved in other people's business so they can get told off now and not me.
Okay. There's been some changes, really,
Yes.
for you. Do you feel that your family, your relations with your family have changed as well?
I think I've definitely got stronger with my great-grandmother,
Yeah?
Bibby, and grandma,
Yeah.
grandma and granddad in the past year.
And what do you think's made that happen? That
Like, I think just being around them every day and also starting actually helping grandma with the cooking and that.
Yeah.
And like picking up for one day or something, picking up the dishes or like washing them or sweeping the floor.
So a year ago, somebody'd asked you to do those things. What would normally happen?
I'd throw a fit or just go and hide in toilets.
Or cry? Like badly cry?
No,
That's what you would do.
No,
You would.
I do not deny or accept that I do that.
You do. She cries.
No, I
asked,
didn't.
She used to cry when she was asked to do the dishes, just for the record. Okay. So there's quite a lot of change, isn't there? Like for you as a person. Okay.
What about you?
What about me, Mahi?
So, Mum, what do you think has changed about you in the past year?
Wow. A lot. So I think a lot has changed. I think my mindset, my view to other people, myself. Actually, let's start with that. I think first and foremost, the first thing that I feel that's changed is my view of myself. And the fact that, increasing my confidence, increasing my self-esteem, all those things has made me actually love myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think in my whole life I've loved myself as much as I do right now. Sorry, we might cry. But, I think that self-love is one thing that's really changed. I didn't used to put myself even in the top, 6 or 7. I was like right at the bottom of the list always. So I think now I kind of, try and put myself first as well. And I think that is probably something that's really changed for me, that kind of self-love, the belief that I have in myself, like, my confidence levels, my self-esteem, all those things, I think that's really changed for me. Like I don't even need to say how much that's changed. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think just being able to believe in myself and love myself and be confident and be so comfortable in myself that has just changed my outlook to life. Like, let me give you an example. Like, I used to, like I said earlier, I always used to worry about what other people said about me or what was going on outside of me. Whereas now, if something does happen, I'm at a point, I'll be upset about it, but I don't let it bother me for a long time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so confident in myself, not confident, comfortable, I would say, actually. I'm so comfortable in myself that I know what I bring and what I don't bring. And I know that I can make mistakes. I know that it's okay to do things wrong. I'm so comfortable in that space that actually, because I have this growth mindset, it's okay. We all make mistakes. We all do things wrong. People don't always treat us in the right way. Actually, that's on them and not me. Do you know what I mean? And I think as you know, Mahi, my ethos has always been like to come from a place of kindness.
Yeah.
And I think now that I feel like that's kind of bloomed even more.
Yeah.
With this kind of being so comfortable in myself. Like, I feel like, you know what? Everybody around me, they're my comrades. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter who they are. Everybody around me is my comrades, right? Even if you don't like me, it doesn't matter. You're still my comrade.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know how to explain. Actually, maybe I am explaining. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. But that is what's changed.
Yeah.
Just that kind of being that grounded in myself and feeling that good with myself. That's the thing that's changed.
I think that I do see a lot of that in your day-to-day life. Like, you just thinking, do I prioritize myself or do I prioritize this person? And then actually realizing for for your peace of mind, I have to prioritize myself. And I think that's so much better than prioritizing a person that isn't going to spend 5 minutes of their day even thinking about you.
Yeah.
And I think I see that a lot in you, whereas before, not in this shop, but whereas before I haven't seen that in you. I feel like that makes me feel really happy, because you need to prioritize yourself, because you deserve to be at the top of your priority list.
Thank you, Molly. That's really kind of you to say. It's okay.
That in mind, what challenges have you faced to get to this point in being the top of your priority list?
So what challenges have I faced? I think one of the fundamental things in the last year that's happened is my values and belief systems changed. So I've literally deleted all my previous values, deleted all my previous beliefs about myself and others, and started again. So this whole kind of value or belief, whatever you want to call it, around, I am a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm all these other roles, but other than just being me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And, this whole kind of work ethic belief that comes from sort of, families that have migrated from other countries over generations, that, we are kind of 9 to 5, work hard type people, and it doesn't matter how we're feeling, we just carry on with that. And I think putting myself first and recognizing that I am an individual and a human in my own right, that in itself was a challenge. Yeah. I found that really, really challenging to reevaluate my beliefs, reevaluate my values, and just trying to think about me.
Yeah.
Like, it was really hard. And it's something that I have to practice every day. So it's something that I've had to build into my life, I think, because if you don't, you kind of go back. And I think some of the other challenges that I faced is that when people see that side of me, like the fact that I'm putting myself first, like I've noticed that I've lost a lot of people in my life.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite challenging, because people, it's really funny, right? People always say, oh, I love people that are blunt and they say things to your face, la 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 la. Do you know what? People don't.
But when it happens to them.
The people actually don't like people that are blunt, or they say things as they are. Yeah. The truth is they don't.
Yeah.
Right? And I think because I found challenging, where I've just been quite blunt.
Yeah.
About myself and what I expect from myself, because I don't expect anything from anybody else, but I have expectations for myself. So the challenge is that I've lost people in the last year. And I think that in itself comes with a bit of sadness, because you feel a sense of grief.
Yeah.
You feel a sense of loss. And some of those people have been in my life for a long time.
Yeah.
So I feel that that's been quite challenging. I found that quite challenging. And I think the other thing that I found challenging is taking, like, even you guys, like my children, on that journey with me.
Yeah.
Because I think, you guys are still children, right? And I'm trying to go on this journey of kind of self-discovery and growth and all this sort of stuff, and trying to put myself first. But I have these beautiful kids.
Yeah.
And they want me and they need me, and I'm everything they've got and they're everything I've got. Like, and how do you, in that situation, put yourself first? Do you know what I mean? And sorry. And I really struggled with that, and really struggled to find, I really struggled to find a balance in that challenge, because I don't love any, I really struggled to find a balance in that place, because fundamentally the challenge is I am everything that my children have, and my children are everything that I have. And they're not adult in the world to be able to look after themselves. And in that space, when I've got 3 beautiful children that need me, how do I put myself first? So I found that challenging. I think I found that really, really challenging. But I think I am truly blessed with 3 beautiful children. And the biggest thing that's made that work is communication, I think.
Yeah. That's
the thing that's made that work. So there's been lots of challenges. And I wonder how you perceived that challenge, Mike. It'd be really interesting to hear what you thought of that challenge.
Yeah. Are you okay, Mum?
I'm fine, thank you, daughter.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't expect to get so emotional.
I know, neither did I.
Okay. I think the challenges that I've had about in this past year is how like the things that mum has taught me, how I can put them into practice. For example, she has taught me resilience, confidence, but how do I actually put that into practice? And I think one also the challenges are believing in me, because believing in yourself is very hard, and there's sometimes in like everyday life where I don't believe in myself, and I think it's just overcoming that. Also, like I said before about how I help my grandma, sometimes like you want to be a better person and you want to help your elderly grandma. She doesn't act elderly, but but sometimes you just don't want to. Like, you see your little brother sitting down after he supposedly cleaned the house, and you want to sit down as well, but you have to go help your grandma. But sometimes you just don't want to. So I think how I spoke about my maturity before, as I'm taller and I look older, I get treated like I'm older as well by many different people, and that has a knock-on effect on my maturity. So I think I would say that I am more mature than other people my age. I find it really challenging in that situation because I literally just have to lower my maturity level for them, and it's like, it's very annoying because their maturity level is like, and my maturity level like, so I have to go down again, and I was like, no.
Poor Mahi.
For me.
But it's interesting, Mahi, because obviously, you know, that can be quite hard,
Yes.
isn't it? When you've got to actually take yourself down from the place that you're at.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's quite challenging, isn't it?
Because like it's very hard, because like you see people over there that are like doing the most weird stuff in human existence, and I'm just like, who are these people? What are these people? Like,
okay, you're waffling now.
Okay, yeah. Why am I acting like mine?
Shut up. So Mahi, we've obviously faced lots of different challenges over the year, and we've probably got so many more that we could share. What's your two biggest lessons you've learned in the last year, would you say?
Oh, wow. So I'd say the two biggest lessons that I've learned in the past year is, the first one is believing in myself. I feel like this is one of the hardest lessons or challenges that I've had to learn, but it's really important to me, believing in myself, because if I'm not going to believe in myself, then no one's going to do that for me. I think the second lesson that I've had to learn is not taking the people around you for granted. So, like, for example, my brothers, they might like do something annoying, and then I think about it at night time and I can't sleep, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. 20 years time, when we all have our own families, like this time living together, it's never ever going to happen again, and it won't come back. So I think it's just enjoying every moment with the people around you and not taking them for granted. What about the two life lessons that you've had to learn, Mum?
So the two biggest lessons that I've learned this year is that actually everything that I need is within me. I have everything that I need to survive and provide for my children and myself. So I think that self-belief, that is like being a big lesson for me. I am my knight in shining armour, basically, you know, and I am perfectly happy with that, you know, because it all, I love you, because it all comes from here, doesn't it? So I think that's been like a really big lesson for me this year. And I think my second one is similar to yours, Mahi, actually, about sort of taking the people around you for granted.
Yeah.
I think that one is similar to yours in that I think cherish the people around you that you care for, and they care for you too.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it's okay to shed people.
Yeah.
You know, and that is perfectly, absolutely fine. You know, don't hold on to things, whether it's a thing, whether it's a relationship, whatever it is. Just don't hold on to it if you're not serving it and it's not serving you. you know, and I think that's probably my other lesson that I've learned over the last year.
Yeah.
You know,
we both changed a lot in the past year. I think I've seen it in both of us as well. So, Mum, we've both been on a growth and self-discovery journey over the past year. What are your thoughts on identity and self-discovery?
So, Mai, that's quite an interesting thing to ask. So, I think on this journey of self-discovery and all this sort of growth and all that's what I've been through over the last year, I think what I fundamentally feel that is that identity isn't fixed. I don't think it's a fixed thing. I think your identity or your identity can change as you grow. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, I just don't feel like it's a fixed thing now. Mm-hmm. I feel like, yes, there's some traits in you that will probably stay the same, but overall, you know, actually you can be who you want.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you kind of have all of us have it in us to be who we want. Yeah. And to decide what our identity is. So I think I would probably say that identity is something that is controlled by you, and you can be whoever you like. As long as you're on a growth journey, as long as you are confident in yourself and grounded, actually identity is something that comes afterwards. You know, I think most importantly, it's important to have like a growth mindset. What about you, Mahi?
I'd say I don't know what my identity is, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was thinking about it earlier on. Like, who am I? Like, am I an alien that teleported out on Earth with the kangaroo's tail? I don't know. But who am I? But I was thinking about it, and then I just got overwhelmed, and then I stopped thinking about it. Like, who am I? I don't know. I really, really don't know.
And I think that's okay. Because remember what I've just said.
You said like, that identity isn't fixed.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
And that's okay, because I feel a bit similar.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think I probably feel a bit like you, like, because I'm still discovering myself.
Yeah.
I actually don't know do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to say, oh yeah, this is my identity. Mm-hmm. Because I'm still in a self-discovery journey.
Yeah.
So it looks like both of us
don't know what our identity is.
But I think that's okay. Do you think that's okay?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mahi, as we end today's episode, do you have any words of wisdom that you would like to share?
I think my words of wisdom would be believe in yourself, because nobody else is going to do that for you. Don't take the people around you for granted, and it's okay to not know what your identity is, because then we'll be twins. What about you, Mum?
So, my words of wisdom are really around self-belief. Everything you need is within you, and everybody should believe in themselves, because we all have what we need. Just to make time for yourself, whether it's 30 seconds, whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's 15 minutes, it doesn't matter. That make time for you. You are going to spend the whole of your life with you. So spend time with yourself and nurture yourself and be kind to yourself.
Mum, that is very good words of wisdom. I think that I'll definitely take in what you said, and I think I'll actually think about those things and how I'm doing those things and actually do those things that you said.
Yeah, I think
they're quite important.
I agree with you, Mahi. I think often we are not kind to ourselves.
No.
So I think really, if you really want to discover yourself and you want to grow, you have to start with yourself. And that starts with being kind to yourself. Yeah. I think. Thank you for listening, and do tune in for our next episode. Yes. And we shall see you soon. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.